Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tristan for those of you who are new, and I'm a 25-year-old entrepreneur out of Austin, Texas. I'm also a sales coach. So today I'm actually gonna be taking you around in a day in my life. This is what my day is looking like. I got a lot of meetings and I even have a coaching call later tonight and dinner. So it's gonna be a busy day. I've been getting a lot of questions about how I got into high ticket sales in the first place and how I was able to build this network and learn all these skills. And I actually started 2.5 years ago. I ended up investing into this coaching program that was $6,000 at the time. It was all the money that I had in my bank account. And it was to learn how to build my own coaching business. Now, in starting a business, people don't tell you up front, but you have to be proficient in marketing and sales and fulfillment and building systems, and you got to set all the appointments and you got to close all the deals and you got to get great results for the clients. Obviously, I didn't do that well with that as a complete beginner, but that's how I got my foot in the door to learning under this entrepreneur. Now, there are 4 things that I learned from this coach that I want to pass on to you that have shaped the way that I think about setting goals, building teams, scaling offers, how to actually become the best possible version of yourself. This guy literally changed my life. So I want to pass that on to you. The first point is you're a product of your environment. See, I used to be the person who, did really well in college with my grades. I could go out and work out at the gym, but then I also had habits where I was going out and drinking and partying all the way up until COVID. But whenever I graduated college, I didn't have any real skills. I had gone through, got a degree just like what my parents told me to do. I got marketing and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I started to realize that the environment that I had been in for 4 years was very much do whatever I want, wake up whenever I want, go to class when I want, do my homework when I want. It wasn't really hard at all. Marketing is not hard. If you're in marketing, you'd agree with me. I didn't really have a lot of discipline. And I didn't know how to be productive. I didn't know how to set a schedule. I just kind of did whatever I wanted to do, and that hurt me a lot. Now, one of the first things this mentor taught me was how to become a high performer. He would set his schedule the day before. He would wake up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. sometimes, and he'd start his day with a cold shower. And the logic behind this was if you start your day off with something that's really difficult, every other decision and activity that you take the rest of the day is going to be easier in comparison. He'd wake up in the morning, he'd get all of his most important tasks done in the morning, which would be like a 3-hour period that he called deep work, before he even started his first meeting. That's whenever I started to realize that you could get a ton of work done before anyone was even awake, and by noon, your day was pretty much done. Now, he would do his deep work, then he would get into meetings with his team. And he was running a company that was doing $700,000 a month, $900,000 a month, $1 million a month. And he would just get his tasks done so quickly and so efficiently. This was mind blowing. We had all these trainings that we had to go through as a part of getting ramped up as salespeople, as well as me going through his course and his program. And people started looking at me weird because I was watching videos at like 2x speed just to get through things, but it made me so efficient with my time. This business owner is also one of the reasons why I moved to Austin. He was living here, he's running this business. He told me he was gonna mentor me, and so I ended up moving here, and I learned so many things about how to build a business, how to operate the business. We had 3 big pillars that we operated off of. It was excellence, accountability, and ownership, meaning there was no excuses. You had to be on time. You had to give it your all. It was kind of like a military operation, but it built so much mental discipline, and it shaped me into this person where I was getting all my tasks done on time. I was showing up for meetings on time. I was filling out all my reports on time. I was crushing it on my sales calls, and people that hopped on the sales calls wanted to buy because they loved this entrepreneur. They had been nurtured through his YouTube content, similar to what I'm doing right now. But this was such a great culture to be a part of from the beginning because it set such a strong foundation for me. Another thing that I learned from this coach was all about delaying gratification, because in the beginning, I was thinking, I'm gonna make all this money and all I gotta do is just post some content and then hop on some calls and everybody's just gonna throw money at me. And I didn't have any skills. And it took me a while to build these skills. It took me hundreds upon thousands of sales calls. It took me hundreds upon hundreds of hours of training and material and trying and failing to build me into the person that I am now. And another quote that comes from the book, Way of the Superior Man, you should not set a goal with the finish line in mind, because it just puts you into a place where you think, oh, once I reach this income goal, then I'll be good. Or once I complete this task, then I'll be good. Or once I have a girlfriend, then I'll be happy. Or once I have this Lamborghini, then I'll be happy. And it's just not true. You shouldn't have an end point in mind when you set goals. You always want to be pushing yourself and growing and developing and investing into mentorship and coaching so that you can learn more skills so that you can become the best possible version of yourself. Let's get into these meetings. I have a busy day ahead. This first call is going to be with Tyler. He's a fitness coach. Right now, he's doing around 30K a month. So let's see what we can improve on, and let's get better.
Yo.
What are some wins, fellas?
Late to the party. Yeah, I feel like my wins as of late have been more personal than the business side of things. Things have just been so slow, dude. Getting calls on the board seems like we're pulling teeth right now. So we're lucky to get 4, maybe 5. I mean, last week I went 1 for 1. I'm pretty sure I had 1 call. Johnny Boy took 5. So he was slaying on Saturday, putting in the reps. I'd say the big thing for me is just confidence levels, in all areas of life. As you know, hopping back into the dating game, things like that. I just feel like I'm showing up in all areas and truly loving the life that I live. So just kind of, even though I guess I'm saying this, but technically we're still on pace for a record month, but it just subjectively feels like things are slow. It's ridiculous. The last couple of weeks, I think 4 or 5 calls, we've been closing at least 2. So if we have 10 to 12 calls per week, dude, this thing's going to 40, 50K months. Easy. I'm not worried about that. It's just we need the call volume. We need the prospect. But yeah, it's fine. I trust God. I know what he's doing. Every time that we've been in the desert, he is faithful and he provides in his timing.
While I was on that meeting, I actually had some deals come through. So let me show you guys what happened. So AJ ended up having a 4,500 paid in full, and Colton ended up getting a 1K down. So we're already at 5,500 for Taylon's offer. And for Steve's offer, we had a 6K paid in full came in for, I don't even know who this is. We'll find out on the meeting, but I'm gonna jump in with Steve's team right now. Let's go. Woo! Who's Desmond Ortiz? Is that Gerald? I would assume that's Gerald because he's not on here.
Yeah, that's Gerald.
Let's go.
Did Gerald just close somebody?
6K Piffy.
To start the day, let's rock.
Man, let's go. Who's got some wins, fellas?
I got a win. So shout out to Gerald for the assist. But I had a call 4 months ago with this guy Ryan, and he basically, we've had some super basic communication back and forth, but he's a man of his word, and so he kind of actually reached out. I know Gerald gave me that layup, but I just jumped on the call with him. He was like, yeah. I'm like, do you have any questions? He's like, nope, I'm ready. I'm like, all right, cool, rip it. And I just onboarded him for LPI, so that was a really easy sell. Shout out to Gerald.
Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. I just want to let you know I was a minute late because I just closed a 6K puppy dog. Let's go. 22 years old. Just put him to the lot. 22 years old. He was like, bro, my finances. I said, yo, I told him I'd do a budget meeting with him. And I said, I guarantee you, if we cut back Amazon Prime and Chick-fil-A and Chipotle and all the crap you eat on a daily basis, you got $540 a month. He's like, yeah, I do.
Awesome meeting with Steve's team. It was actually Gerald who got that 6K paid in full. That puts us at 125K for the month. I'll give you guys an update after this meeting. You know how it is. I'm running into another meeting with Brandon Forbes' team. Brandon did win school games last month, so shout out to him. He's going to be meeting Alex Hormozi this upcoming week. So that'll be really cool. But we're trying to scale his offer to 200, 300, 500K a month. We brought on a guy named Rohail, who you'll see in this next meeting. We're training him up to become a savage closer for this offer so that we can scale. He worked with me with the entrepreneur that we scaled to over $1 million a month. So let's have a great meeting. Welcome in, boys. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, I've been going through the process, Tristan, that we had the call yesterday on. And I've been role-playing it. I built out a full process. Really confident with it. I've kind of memorized all the sort of the fear things and the kind of things we need to go through, so to pre-handle it all. So I'm super excited to jump on the call today to see what we can do. I'm excited.
Good stuff, dude. You're closing somebody today.
But yeah, Ro, our process was extremely dialed in January, and then I'm sure Tristan gave you the whole scoop, but we're gonna get cranking. So don't let any of the leads, rub you the wrong.
Good. I'm ready for it.
Rohale, good luck. Travis, good luck. And let's see where the cards fall today. I'm excited.
See you
All
guys.
right. See you guys.
All right, boys. Meeting complete with Brandon's team. I am excited. Rohale is ramping well. We had a great role play. He seems like he's prepared. They both have calls for today, both Travis and Rohale. So let's see how they do. In the meantime, before I jump into my next meeting with Taylon's team, I want to give you guys an update on where Steve and Taylon are for the month in terms of numbers. As of right now, Steve is sitting at 121K cash collected. So we still have like 9 days left in the month. I think we're pacing for probably like 180 to 200, which is a huge win. As I mentioned prior in one of my other videos, when I came on the offer, the most they'd ever done was 70K in cash for an entire month, but they were fluctuating around like 40, 50K a month. So to hit 200K would be awesome. And for Taylon's offer, we are currently sitting at 158K here. We have not had the best month in terms of pace. The closers are closing at like 60, some 75%. So it's not the closing, it's the lead quality and having the right people on the calls, which we're trying to figure out as a bottleneck. Our ads are kind of messed up, but pacing for 200K with Taylon and pacing for 200K for Steve. So really excited for that. Meeting with Taylon was actually canceled because they are at an event. So that gives me some time before I hop into my next meeting. I wanted to give you guys lesson number 2 that I learned from studying under this mentor who was doing 9 figures. And that is prioritizing your most important tasks. We used to have this thing called MITs. Every single week we would hop on. I was a part of the leadership team and I was responsible for managing all these sales reps and making sure that we hit our numbers and our projections, etc. I couldn't do everything at once. So every single week we would focus on the most important task for that week. In life, you may not be someone who's managing a sales team or running a business, but you do want to start every single day or prioritize every single day with your most important tasks. And what it really is it's anything that moves the needle with your life. You're prioritizing your fitness. It's going to the gym first thing in the morning, not making excuses. Prioritize the most important thing because that's what's going to move the needle. Take my business as an example, where I would major in the minors. Instead of like learning the skill of marketing, learning the skill of setting appointments, booking calls, sales calls for myself, I would spend an hour or 2 hours making sure that the fonts on my website were exactly how I wanted them to look, or making sure that the website had all the right graphics and I had a logo for my business, or I had the LLC, or all these things. That doesn't actually move the needle. Instead of learning all these important skill sets, I was wasting time. And in your head, like, you can trick yourself thinking, oh, well, you know, it looks exactly how I want it to look and it's a great program because of all the time I've spent building out all the modules. And no one wants to buy it, or I don't have the skill of sales or marketing to be able to convey what I actually do. And what I always tell people, especially coaches that I work with, is it doesn't matter how great your program is if you don't know how to sell it. If you don't have any clients, you don't have a business. So it's the same thing with all these majoring in the minor type things. Prioritize your most important task, do things that move the needle, and do not quit until you reach the result that you set for yourself. Simon, how are you?
Yo, I'm doing great. How are you, bro?
Blessed and highly favored, man.
Yes, sir. Amen to that.
How can I make this the most valuable 30 minutes of your life?
That's a great question. Honestly, I'll leave that to my business partner because, you know, he's more of the sales side. He's been studying your content for the last few days, like a wild dog. So, yeah.
What's up, Jonas? Nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah, likewise. I don't know, like, what is your experience like working with very type A people?
What most people will do is they'll create this like combative environment where the prospect says one thing and you say the other, and they're in opposition, and it's like who can out like bully the other person, get the other one to submit. And that's usually not the approach that I would take. You have to be genuine, you have to be curious, but you have to be consistent throughout the entire call. Meeting with Simon complete and Jonas, trying to help them with some bottlenecks inside their business. They're trying to scale to 100K a month. If you're watching this, love you guys. In the meantime, on that meeting, AJ closed a 2K. So that puts us at 6,500 for the day. Good stuff, AJ. I know you watch these videos. You're handsome, you're incredible. Congratulations on the close. I'm about to hop into another meeting with Shark. So let's keep these things rolling. I got this meeting and then I got a coaching call tonight and then dinner. So let's make it a great second half of the day. Because you're eventually going to have somebody that wants to do it and actually closes on the first call. And when you get that first close under your belt and you feel the momentum and you feel the confidence that comes from that as a byproduct, you're going to show up sharper. You're going to show up more assertive with the people you're talking to, and you're going to command more respect. But continuing to show up and swing the bat, you're doing the same thing these people are doing. Swing the bat. You can't control the outcome necessarily, but you can control like the disciplines, the practicing that prepares you that when you do go step up to the plate, you can make contact with the ball and hit it out of the park. Meeting complete with Shark's team. Excited for them because they have 2 closers that are ramping up. And Shark wants to be hitting like 50K to 100K a month in sales. So hopefully over the next couple weeks, we can start getting some more consistent qualified leads booked in the calendar for those closers. I feel good about their progression. So shout out to Richard and Leland for your progress. I'm proud of you guys. While I was on that meeting, another 6K came through for Steve's offer. So we got another 6K in. That puts us at 12K for the day and like 133K for the month. So pacing well for that 200K goal. And we'll continue to see how Talon's reps do for the rest of the day. Got a little gap in between this last meeting and my coaching call. So I'm gonna try and get some time out of my office. My third point, my third lesson that I learned from working under that entrepreneur is you have to be willing to burn the boats behind you. No outcome is ever guaranteed. Like if you think back to any goal that you've ever set or any accomplishment you've ever made, like the outcome was not guaranteed for you. And my journey in this whole space, like I've said in several videos, started whenever I joined a coaching program that was $6,000. It was all the money that I had to my name. And the outcome of where I am now, where I live in this house in Austin and I have financial freedom and I'm scaling all these different businesses, that didn't come because it was guaranteed or someone told me that no matter what happened, I was gonna get there. Like, it's just not true. You need to be willing to burn the boats behind you and put so much skin into the game towards the goals that you've set that you don't have a choice. Like you can't go backwards, you always have to go forward. Like no one would ever buy a car with 3 wheels or buy a house with no doors on the hinges. Like you always wanna be all in on the goals that you set because that's when your chance of being successful is the highest it'll ever be. Eventually, I ended up transitioning out of working with that coach because I had acquired all this knowledge, all these skills, and I was capped in terms of my income. Which when you have a lot of skills, like think about any coach or any entrepreneur that sells something or any business, like you want to take your skills and you want to be able to help a lot of people. And so I decided, which was a really difficult decision at the time, that I wanted to transition out of the business that I was working at, the company that was doing $1 million a month where I was managing these reps. And I wanted to take the skills and see if I could turn that into my own offer where I was helping other businesses scale their teams, build systems, and scale their offer, right? Like hit the revenue goals that they had and train up their sales reps. This is another bridge in my story where the goal of me doing that was uncertain. It was not guaranteed. Like no one sat me down and said, Tristan, if you lead that company where you're making really good money, like I can guarantee you that you're gonna have a role with me and we're gonna make, a bunch of money together and you're gonna be set. Like no one told me that. It was really scary. And I ended up going to a business conference in Dallas at one point where I was connected with Brandon and Talon, who are different coaches that I now consult for. And whenever I came on to work with Talon, the first month we did $9,000 in sales. I don't know about you, but even if I was at like 10% of that, $900 does not pay my bills. And it was a big step back from what I'd been making before. But just like I said, like being willing to burn the boats and being willing to bet on myself is why I was able to start building the systems by the grace of God as well. Like for you Christians out there, God plays a big role in this. And in my opinion, he's always leading me down the right path. And it's up to me to actually take the opportunities he presents me with and do everything in my power to make sure that the outcome actually comes to fruition. Right, so with that company, I ended up bringing on sales reps and training them up and building out the sales process. And we did $286,000 last month. But in all the other companies that I currently work with, it's the same thing. The principle is I have a goal, I want to achieve that goal, and I'm willing to do whatever I have to do and burn the boats behind me to actually reach that goal. So when you're setting goals, don't always wait for the perfect time, the perfect program, the perfect opportunity to seize what you want in life. Like, you have to be willing to trust yourself, bet on yourself, do the work, and the outcome will follow. Do the work, even if you don't feel like it. Now that I've gotten some much needed time away from the computer, I'm gonna be jumping into a coaching call with my students. For those of you who don't know, I do coach closers and business owners on how to level up their skill set. So I'll do coaching calls each Wednesday night. And I also just got this new, it's like a gator arm for my mic, which is cool. I always love like investing into like the studio setup. I got the light here, the camera, the computer. I just like the setup. I like the electronics. I'm kind of a nerd in that way. But yeah, this is my school community that I am training reps in. It's called Elite Closer Academy, so I'm about to jump on. And let's get better, baby. Come on. Can I get some wins, fellas? Can I get inspired on this Wednesday? What's going on with you guys?
Bro, Rich and I posted our personal stories, and we're just getting better every week. So that's our win. Or that's my win.
I closed one.
Yeah, today?
Mhm.
Come on, dude. How much? 3K down?
3K down, 12K contract, and then I set up another one. I teed the F up on another one. I had a partner on the phone, and then he's bought in. So he's like, let me sell my other partner, and then we'll talk tomorrow.
Fire. Fire, dude. You guys get to choose. You want to do a call review, or do you want to do role play?
Don't everybody speak at once.
Yeah, dude, decisive. Where are our leaders at? What do you want to do?
Go call review.
Role play.
Call review. Okay, I got call review and I got role play. Who has a call? Does anyone have a call? This is a call from Carlos that I watched the other day that was outstanding when it came to partner objection. Would everyone be cool if I showed that to you? Because I think it could help everybody. Okay, sick.
I need to do. I know that.
Yeah.
But I also know, like, without any excuses, like I do $150, $200 a month. Yes, I can do that. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
However, I know to pay that off in a year, I'm looking at least having to pay $600 a month, $500 a month. Otherwise, it'll be interest charged at the end of the 12 months. So I know, and that's something I think about up front.
Yeah.
So,
hey, dude, what are you gonna eat for dinner July 4th? Just answer it. Just answer it. You can't. You ever bought a car before? Okay, when you buy the car off the lot, like, what happens if you blow out your tire? Like, are they going to take care of that? What about in the gym? You ever got a gym membership? Well, what happens if you get injured in the gym? Do they take care of that too? You ever gone on like a fitness journey? Okay, well, like, what's the point if you could potentially get injured in like 4 years? Like, why would you even go to the gym? It's all the same thing. Coaching call complete. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I love this life. Don't get me wrong. It is a lot of hours sitting behind a computer, but it's very rewarding. It's a lot of fun. That was an awesome coaching call. In the meantime, I did see Colton had a 1500 came through, and Tyler hopped on the coaching call late because he was closing a 3200 paid in full. So shout out to you, Tyler. Shout out to you, Colton. Hopefully there'll be a couple more deals that close for Steve's offer. But in the meantime, I am going to be going to grab some dinner. I'm hungry. I don't eat a lot. I'll eat like protein bars. But I'm gonna go to Cava. It's like the Mediterranean Chipotle, and we're gonna have a good night. There are a couple of buddies that I haven't seen in a minute that I wanna spend some good quality time with. So make sure at the end of your day, regardless how busy you are making time for community. You're making time for people that are important to you, that you wanna spend time with, that you can grow with, that you can share quality wins and losses with in your life. It doesn't matter if you have, all the money in the world, or you have a successful business. If you can't spend quality time with the people that you love, you're doing it wrong. So let's have a great dinner. Cava. We got the double white rice, double chicken, corn, feta. You know what it is. Troy's in the building.
come on.
Look at this. Dialed. Bro, that's the seller menu? Yeah, this is the undercover menu. Dude, let's go, fellas. About to pray this puppy in. We're all here. Let's go.
Thank you so much for this day. Thank you for these wonderful brothers. Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for the plants and animals and people that have contributed this food to our plate. Lord, thank you for blessing us with such a special place here in Austin that we're just...
Oh, can I get a dap for the... Wait, hold on. It's cold outside.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good. Dap
Yeah.
for the cam? Already missed it. Nice.
First time.
This is good. Another one? Yo, 2 for 2?
First person dap right here. It's kind of mid, but we'll take it.
I'm back from Kava. I have had a very long day and I realize I need to do an outro for this video and I still have to give you one more lesson. So the final lesson that I have for you after learning, you know, from a couple years of working under an entrepreneur doing 9 figures is you have to take reckless action for your goals. And certainty comes from taking action. You're never gonna know whether or not the water is hot or cold until you stick your finger in there. You're never gonna know whether or not you're actually gonna achieve the goal that you set, if the business is gonna work out, or the relationship's gonna work out, until you put the left foot after the right foot. And I can tell you from a lot of trial and error and a lot of ups and downs, like I choose my heart. Hard for me can be waking up in the morning and committing to going to the gym. And there are 2 types of people, right? Like there are people who make decisions based off their commitments, and there are people who make decisions based off of their emotions. And emotions come and go. You choose your heart, I choose my heart. It's hard to be running multiple different companies and being responsible for making big decisions within a business that could backfire. Like heavy is the head that wears the crown, and a lot of the burden of responsibility falls on me, and that's hard, right? But living paycheck to paycheck is hard. Not having the body that you want to have is hard. Not being able to have confidence in the way that you see yourself is hard. Like these are all hard things, but you choose your heart, and it's up to you to actually decide who you want to be. So do the work, regardless of how you feel, regardless of whether it's easy or not, and your goals and the vision that you have for yourself is going to become more and more possible. I love you. I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you if you stayed until the end. You're a real one. And if you enjoy watching videos like this, make sure to give me a follow, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.